Hey, everybody. Coming up on today's podcast, we discuss Elon Musk's most recent threat to his shareholders that involves AI and robotics. We're also discussing how a recent study by Recurrent reveals the truth behind the EPA estimated EV battery range. We are interested in telling you guys a special salute that one Cybertruck owner is getting every time he's driving through town, and why Spotify is bricking car thing. We also get into a new extreme overlanding vehicle built by Krug Expedition, powered by Ford. And lastly, guys, we're discussing how the new car market looks to be in favor of buyers once again. All of that right after this. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the podcast, the Counter Show, the best show on the planet. And say hello to my good friend and co-host over there, Keith. What's happening, man?
Hey,
yes.
What's up?
Appropriate,
picked that
man.
out just
I'm
for
good.
you.
I appreciate it, man. Long bike packing trip with our good friend Get Rothmeyer, and I truly got Rothmeyer on this one. It was fun. You want to hear about that?
Yeah. I mean, this is dangerous because if I say no, the show's pretty much over. But
yeah, so guys, first of all, thank you for tuning in. We are a podcast about the automotive industry, but we also get into camping, overlanding, AI's topics, you name it, pop culture. We're having fun doing this. So anything automotive centric and beyond, we're going to talk about it. You'll hear that, and if you're subscribed to our channel, you already know that. If you are not and you stumbled on us, please make sure you subscribe and hit like buttons and comments, and you can do all sorts of stuff over there on our channel. So anyway, over the weekend I went camping, went bike packing. That was fun, man.
So for those of you that don't know what that is, it involves a bicycle and camping gear, usually in packed bags. Backpack, side saddlebags, rear fanny tail pack. And
I would say I was roughing
so you
it,
get to the campsite on a bicycle.
Correct.
What bicycle did you use, Jay?
I used the best bike out there, guys, and we're brand partners with these guys, but I have an Adventure 2 by Aventon, which is an amazing trail bike. It's big, probably the fattest tires on a bike I've ever seen of its size, but did quite well, man. So we started on what is known as the Cascade Trail, which is an old railroad track, raised, berm, obviously, for the tracks, that has been removed. And the tracks go all the way up into the Cascade Mountains. And so we decided to hop on in Sedro-Woolley, where it begins, and drive all the way up to Concrete, which is about 24 miles one way. And it was a pretty amazing trip, man. But what we didn't factor in is how much rain had been falling. And so we got to one point where a creek was actually overflowing on the trail, man, and I decided to just kind of go for it. Well, I got about, I don't know, man, halfway through it, and the bike would not, it was too deep. I mean, I was up past the hubs. That's how deep it was, and so I ended up having to bail on the bike and then kind of walk my way through the water. And unfortunately, my feet got pretty wet, but they dried out later on by the fire. We had a blast.
But now,
it was fun.
This was an e-bike. You didn't like ruin the e-bike, did you?
No, worked just fine. Works just fine, man. You can get it wet.
So, okay.
I mean, it was not submerged for long.
Well, that explains. Let me see if I can find it. That explains.
You got a photo of
this one.
Of some drying.
This one, yeah.
Drying,
Here,
some drying feet.
It takes a second to do all these screen shares, but this is the one right here. So, it's that one.
Oh yeah,
that explains. I was like, why you guys got your shoes and socks off right there? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Mike started first, and then I pulled mine off, and remarkably, my boots dried really quick. And of course, I had plenty of extra pairs of socks for that very reason. We always are prepared. But yeah, it was a blast. We try. It was obviously being the holiday weekend. Campsites were hard to find. I found this nice little KOA campground that had one pull through for tent or camper, hard shell tent as well, pull behind.
I'm familiar.
So they were big enough, big enough for that. But we set our two tents up. We had a nice little dry shelter in between and just kind of hung out in the rain all night long. And it rained all night, rained all day the next day too. So we got wet on the way back. But we had our camp gear though. We had our rain gear. We were good.
So what did what's Rothmeyer riding? Did you get a different bike?
It's not a Rad. I don't remember what
he
the
got
name
rid of his
is.
like Yamaha drive thing.
I think so. But he's got that Jackrabbit as well.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't take that on.
But yeah, you can't.
That actually would be hilarious. Like a packed out Jackrabbit. That's how many clowns.
Yeah.
How many clowns can you stuff
Right.
in the?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
And not only that, Keith. Though, what was also fun here, Chief. See it?
Well, let me make it bigger. Hold on. And stop the clown horn.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is by Top Don. This is the Huracano 200. Man, this thing, we had 4 devices plugged into it, man. Charging, had his iPad, couple of phones. I was charging my my GoPro batteries back up as well at the same time. I could have also, you can plug in like laptops here as well.
Don't forget the light.
Yeah, it also has the big light on the back, which is 20 to 30 hours of light on this. And I can tell you, man, we charged our phones all night long.
Hey,
and
you're one hand in that, right?
I am
It's heavy, right?
3.5 pounds, man. That's all it weighs.
So it's like
So it's
less.
got a fan on it when it's powering up a lot.
Yeah, less than a.
Cool.
Less than a. How much does a 6-pack weigh?
Less than this.
Oh, really?
This is about a 6-pack of bottles.
Okay,
Is what it weighs.
So my point is, though, for a battery
Perspective.
pack that big, that's super lightweight. Like the way that Jay's
man.
just flipping this thing around in his hands, if you guys will see it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a nice carry handle.
Jay, I
with it.
feel like I need one of these. Where can I get one?
Okay, so good thing that you asked that. We're going to leave a link in the description for this baby.
Wait, hold
make sure-
on. What if I don't want to pay full price?
You don't have to. We've got codes, man. So just make sure you go to our website. Also, you can go to our website and click on.
What's the website?
It's partscounterguru.com.
Okay, because this is my first time listening to the show. Okay.
Okay, right. Okay, first-time listeners, go to partscounterguru.com. Can you tell that I'm being very well coached over here, people?
I'm just here to,
just understand that.
Like,
but yeah, we
throw
we
darts
call
at
it
Jay, and then he.
Yeah. So what do we call it? Show specials
Yeah,
is
it's
the
called
tab.
show specials up at
Show specials, and you're going to go down to the Top Don
Yep.
link, click on that, or we're just going to drop a link down
Now wait,
here.
like they sell other stuff. Like, what if I don't want
Oh,
that battery pack,
dude.
but I need like a car, my check engine lights
code
on?
readers, EV charging accessories, just all kinds.
What about like
of,
a jump starter?
Yeah,
What
in
if I'm a pro and I work in a repair shop?
dude, that's where you want to go.
Okay.
You absolutely 100% want to be on the Top Don site and buy anything you want guys.
What was the website again?
It is called Top Don.
No, us. What's our where do I go to
our
buy
website.
this?
Oh, partscounterguru.com.
Yeah, and this show special is up in the top right. That was totally
Thank you so much
organic.
for-
Like we did that. Nobody will ever know that was planned.
Right. So, but man, I got to tell you right now, guys, and I would run over there. They have marked this thing down. It's $40 off right now. It is under $200 for that battery pack.
Yeah, they're really great. They are.
Yep.
I have some of their other products. I have a competitor battery pack. Jay's told me all about this one. It's and for the price, this is the better buy. Now
Oh,
hold
man.
up.
Okay.
What if I want to do some bike packing and I want an e-bike?
Okay. Now you can also go to our website, partscountyguru.com, and there's a link to our brand partner, Aventon, which is the brand of bike that I ride. And man, they've got some great sales right now. I saw one; it was $700 off. Make sure you click our link to get that. Some of the bike packages, you get a extra free battery. Sometimes they're offering, up to $200 of accessories with the purchase of a bike. So make sure you go over to that from our website, Aventon.com, and buy to your heart's content, man. And trust me, I will say this: 24 miles one way, loaded down. This bike was loaded down. I had tent, sleeping bag, chairs. My Helinox chair came in really handy, by the way, guys. We're also a Helinox
You guys,
brand
this
partner.
is how you support. This is how we keep doing this. So if you like this show, we try to find win-wins where you can go over and find stuff that you would normally get or need or want, and also get it at a discount. And so
Absolutely.
it's like,
Yeah.
we try to help you back. So there you go.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. And Helinox is one heck of a brand, so durable. I love my chairs. I love my Blancho. I have a cot by those guys, which is amazing. So, yeah, anything you want. But so what I was saying was 24 miles one way.
Yeah.
Guess how much battery usage?
I'm going to go, so I know that bike's about a year-ish, little over a year old, about a year and 3 or 4 months. I have a rough idea of how much you've used it because I know, Jay, that just like phones, and we'll get into this in a few minutes, batteries do degrade, rechargeable batteries degrade over time. So, like, if you had 80 miles of range on a brand new bike, you may not have that a year in. I'm going to go one way, 24 miles, but it was not flat. There was...
It was about a 2%
Okay.
grade all the way up. Not bad.
Okay, so...
It was pretty flat.
I'm going to go 25% battery use.
That's close.
Okay.
About 30%.
Okay.
So I made it up and
Well,
back.
I forgot to
on a
factor
full-
in all the extra weight you were carrying.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I had
a 5%.
extra weight on
yeah.
it. Yeah, I probably had, outside of my own body weight, which is around 200, I probably had another 50, 60 pounds on top of that. So we're close to 300 pounds on that bike. So, and then plus two, we did little side trips. The whole goal was to have fun all the way up, and we're fortunate that they go through these old towns that have these little old taverns and stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, dude. I had a blast with it. We'd stop for a cocktail, for a beer, a little snack, and then move on.
How was the KOA? Like, in terms of kind of what we talked about, and some of the KOAs are kind of dicey now. Some of them a lot of them have been around for a long time. Some of them have been recently renovated.
Yeah, so they're working on it.
I knew it. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's an older campground, but they're also 1,000 Trails as well. So if you're a 1,000 Trail member or KOA, you're going to get your normal discounts that you would normally get. But it's very well done. They have a store on site. Obviously, they had 2 sets of bathrooms and showers that were very clean. You could buy firewood. You had your own little firebox to start a fire, so it was
the pictures
contained.
that we looked at. Is that from the KOA? Okay.
Yep, that's it. Yep. And we were set up right by a creek. So there's a creek that runs through the campground, which is really nice, especially if you're sleeping in a tent at nighttime, man, and just that white noise just puts you right to sleep. So, but yeah, it was nice. It was very well done. We got they had breakfast on Sunday morning. in the store for us. So it's continental breakfast,
Yeah.
no eggs or anything like that. But we had, muffins and bagels and cereals and fruit, fresh fruit and stuff like that. So it was good.
So
coffee. Good
Don't
coffee.
give out the town name, but is this the kind of place that like if like we could go again if I'm in town?
Oh, 100%.
And although the competition, and I'm finding out this summer it's been less severe as it has been in the previous couple years. But on a holiday weekend, you're going to be booked.
They could accommodate you guys there.
Oh yeah,
No
but I mean
problem
just a bike
with what
trip.
you have.
Now, did
Yeah.
you guys leave from Anacortes or did you?
No.
Okay, so you
Now we drove over to Cedro Woolley.
okay.
Okay, and Cedro was about a 17-mile one-way trip.
Yeah.
And we would have ridden that, but Highway 20 is not the
Yeah,
safest
yeah.
to ride a bike on. It's too busy, so we just opted to just rack them and then unrack them and carry them over. So it was fine. He parked at one of his co-workers' place of business over there. So, which by the way, Mike is working for a beverage distribution company now. That's his full-time gig. So kind of messed his weekends up. Now he's off on Saturdays and Sundays instead of the Sundays and Mondays. Because Mike goes camping every weekend. I mean, barring ailments and stuff like that, if he's got an opportunity, he's going camping, and he's the guy to go camping with, man. He's going to get you out, and you're going to have a great time, and he's never unprepared at all. He's got everything you need. So
Beverage distribution service. Yeah.
yeah. You better.
Them dang spark plugs out in that little hole. You just put a little oil around there, just like Bobby Hunter says. It's like it go boom, boom, just like that.
That's so classic,
Yeah.
man. Hey, I hear King of the Hill might be coming
Yeah,
back, Bobby.
I heard some of that too. He did a pass on Beavis and Butthead, brought them back for a minute, and now he's moving on to his other thing.
Well, isn't the rumor is that Bobby is apparently working for some sort of like pizza outfit or something in this upcoming
I
show
had not
here?
heard that, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's what I've heard. So he's 21 years old, and he's he's managing a pizza place or something. I don't know. So, God dang it, Bobby!
21, you said?
But Dad.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, that dang old internet, man. You just go on there and point and click, get in there, talk about www.w.com. You got them naked chicks on there, man. You go click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
It's the best, man. I wish they would just do a spinoff, Boomhauer, and just just listen.
He would
to
need
him
a talk show
all
or a
day.
podcast. I feel like that's,
Man, our next guest, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Yeah. Dale, tell everybody how you pull them plugs out, man. You know what I'm talking about, man?
I got a pretty
Anyway.
good dang old idea what's going on. I tell you what, man. It all.
all right.
Yes.
So,
what?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You go.
So anyway,
I'll go.
wonderful-
You go.
Wonderful
You go.
holiday. How was your holiday?
That's fine.
How was
Yeah.
your holiday?
Got Jay, what's between a golf ball and a baseball?
A wiffle ball.
Got wiffle ball size hail.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
I was in the RV.
You were in the RV.
Yeah, I was putting an exhaust fan in my
that's
inverter
right.
bay.
That's right. You went north.
No.
didn't you?
I'm not. We're not on the road yet. I was just doing some prep.
Oh.
And I was had it, over at the place where I keep it, and had the awnings out because the sun was out, and 5 minutes later it was wiffle ball size hail.
Yeah. Wow, dude. That's
Well,
that means there was some serious uplift.
and the weather people, and this is where we all joke man, if you just want to get it right less than half the time and still be employed, right? So there were all these tornado warnings. Warnings, because watch is when you see one, right?
No. Watch is the conditions are favorable.
Okay, so
to
see, this
one.
is my
Warning
problem.
is one's actually
You guys,
been- yeah.
I still can't get this right, and we need to figure this out. Like, can we not just keep sticking with warning and watch and like, I don't know. There's got to be a better way because even I can't keep this straight. Okay, so we didn't see one, but they were warning everyone that it could be possible conditions, which apparently is not a warning. That just means you see my confusion here, right?
So were you under a tornado watch or
I don't know. It was
watch?
both. They had both going out.
All right.
And so I was like, oh, well, when it starts raining, I'll pull the awnings in and head home. Oh, no, it just straight up started hailing. And that was,
Any damage to anything?
Not that I could find, so I think I got lucky there.
Trees got a little shredded, though.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, driving home, it was like just, what do you call it? Like, they put trees down on the path that you walk on, like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Hail will absolutely 100% shred trees, man. I've seen it do some major damage. I've been in a vehicle and had windshields go out because of hail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, man. And the other thing too is that when you have a hail event going on, if you're getting hailed on, then you're probably on the right side of the storm because it's typically the other side of the storm is where the tornado is actually on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's that whole, I know a little bit about weather. I'm no weatherman at all.
Well, wait, can you get it right more than half the time? Because if so...
No, here's the thing, man. I've often said this, man. It is the only job that you're half-ass doing your job every day and getting away with it. You can be wrong more than once, and nobody will ever say anything. This is the funniest thing that you'll hear because they say it all the time. If you listen on the Weather Channel, if you live in the Southeast, the Weather Channel is always going to say you cannot rule out the possibility for a slight chance of a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
How many ways can you just go? I don't know.
Yeah.
It could happen.
That and I'll save this for another podcast, but pointing to bad circumstances or behavior to justify also bad, but not quite as bad things, right? Like,
right.
Well, at least it's not as bad as those guys. Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's still bad. It's still not acceptable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't, like, if your doctor said, well, that country over there, the cancer rate is 85%. So, the fact that we only have a 65% cancer mortality rate, it's pretty, no, it's not. It's not, still not good. Still not good.
So ask me how my colonoscopy went.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. It was my first colonoscopy. I was so anxious about it, man. I put it off way too long, but I was about 9 years overdue. But everybody tells you, man, that the hardest part is the prep, and no doubt about it, man. I mean, the procedure itself. I mean, I hear the lady going, "Okay, we're going to administer." And then
yeah, baby.
It's all over. I'm in recovery, waking up, going, "Wow, that's the best nap I've ever had." But yeah, everything's fine. Everything's good. No terrible things going on. Thank goodness. They removed one little polyp, and we'll see what it is. Regardless of what it is, it's gone. And if it happens to be precancerous or cancerous, then I'll probably have to go back and see him in a couple of years. But if it's not, then I probably am off the hook for about 5 years.
Hey, Hank.
I'm thinking.
I've been thinking about y'all and y'all dang old bottom and all what's going to get moving again. I think y'all ought to go jogging and swimming in a water bunch, man. They're going to be bad having you pooping just like you used to, man. I know it's going to work.
That's appropriate. That is appropriate, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. Nah, man, I tell you that stuff that you got to drink. Oh God, man. I've drank some things in my lifetime that were bad, but this dude is like this just moved up to the top of the list of bad stuff to drink, man. Horrible. I don't care how you can add all the flavor enhancing packets you want to that thing. It's awful, dude.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing, and it truly causes some issues, man.
Flavoring medicine. You can still taste the medicine, and the bathroom sprays. You know, like it always just smells like somebody pooped in a lemon tree. You know,
I mean, there's antifreeze in that stuff, dude. No wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder you're pouring it out your rear end.
Yeah.
There's propylene glycol in there,
Yeah.
man.
That's antifreeze.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm looking at the ingredients, going, "Dadgum, man." I mean, they tell you not to drink this stuff.
Right. Unless
I'm
you're,
drinking it.
yeah, they also tell you don't use sharp objects on your teeth, and that's the first thing the dentist pulls out, right?
Right. So anyway, I would say to anyone, man, out there listening to this within an earshot, that here's what I have to say. If you are 45 years of age, go get a colonoscopy screening, people. It could save your life, no doubt about it. The object of that is to catch it early and quickly. Remember that colon cancer is asymptomatic, and you could be at stage 3, stage 4 before you know it. So you need to go get your screenings done, folks. And trust me, it ain't that bad. And I know that there's these Cologuard where you poop in a box and ship it off. It doesn't see polyps. It doesn't see if you have diverticulitis. It doesn't see any of that. So I would say go in and get the camera up your rear end, man. You'll thank me for
The
it.
sound drops I'm going to get from this over the course of the next few months.
Oh, I know.
Pure
man.
gold.
I know. I tell you what, though, honestly, man, I was just so anxious about it. I'm so glad and relieved now that I've gotten it done, and my health is definitely in a good spot right now. Thank goodness for that. So anyway, health is the key.
Thank you for the gold.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. All right, so are we ready to get started on this program?
So,
sir?
as previously discussed in the coming up section, we have little battery conversation to be had here. So, what would you say now, Jay? Like, as far as the EV movement goes, like I'm not talking about the first time you saw a Tesla on the road. I'm talking about when EVs started to become mainstream. What are we, 2 years, 3 years in?
2-3 years in, yeah.
Kind of COVID, people went and bought.
And I mean, yeah, and it was. I think COVID kind of gave the EV market some leverage, actually.
Yeah. So now that a lot of people 3-4 years, they start looking for their next car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And getting some mileage on these things, getting some charge cycles on these things, and people are finding out those batteries do have. It's not like a kind of like a starting battery where just one day you walk out and it's dead. That's not really what happens, but to most people that's what appears. Like your
Right.
car starting battery, you just one day walk out and it won't start. EVs, mostly because it's a different compound, it's lithium based, it's a slower degradation.
That's right.
And so we're getting a bunch of people now that have been tested that are showing that the range is not, it's like in the 60th to 70th percentile of what the new battery would be. And they're not, like I said, they're a few years in to their new car,
right.
their new EV, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the bigger point that we want to make here is there are some surprises, I think, for some folks, because we rely on the EPA to be truthful in their findings. Not saying that they're not truthful, but I do think that they've got a lot of homework to do when it comes to advertising actual range. I often wondered how they got their range estimates, and it's basically just a mathematical problem that they solved and put it out there based on certain factors, and without even really kind of testing it to see. But that's where this company Recurrent comes into play, is basically they've become the odometer for the battery, if you will, through an app. and they've tested a bunch of these EVs.
Okay, now hold on a second.
Some surprising results.
Because, like I do in most shows, in most circumstances, all I do is just try to throw you off track, Jay. So this episode is going to be no different. Number one, have you ever really thought about why the EPA does the estimations on range or miles per gallon and not the Federal Highway Transportation Safety Administration? So let me make my case here, okay?
Okay.
On all other aspects of your vehicle, meaning if it's a safety issue, if it's a recall, if it's a crash investigation, if it's potential consumer issue, that's the second one I mentioned. That's the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, correct?
Correct.
But when we get into miles per gallon or range, it's the EPA.
Correct.
That makes total sense. Okay.
Well, no, I understand where you're going with that, but they are the ones. The EPA are the ones that give the auto manufacturer their basically. This is what you have to.
Okay.
Meet. You have to meet this.
Point number 2.
So,
you and I have been buying cars for a while, right? Okay. How many times have you ever walked up to a window sticker on a new car and said, or even if you're on like Edmunds or somebody like that and you're looking at the reported window sticker that, like if you're buying like a 2020 model right now and it's 2024, you're looking at the EPA ratings is my point, because on those new car stickers they have that now. It's a law. They have to show like a city and a highway, right? Like your city miles per gallon, your highway. Have you ever believed that?
No.
Right. That's like in a vacuum in a test lab.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
again,
yeah,
it's based on a mathematical problem, and that's where they come up with this BS.
Okay. So
and it's not accurate. It never has been 100% accurate.
So now point number 3. This as you wanted to make sure that we pointed this out. This was an independent study by a startup company called Recurrent.
Correct.
And this is interesting to me. Recurrent is into several aspects of EV the EV life cycle. Maybe that's the right. And
yeah.
And there's a heavy focus on battery life and battery efficiency, but like look to me like from their website, like you could buy used cars, or they would point you to So
yep, absolutely.
So this is an independent study, like right here, like it said. Well, if I would actually share it, you would see it, but it says like buy, drive, and sell, right? And they've got links to.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, man. I was, and they're Seattle based too, so that's cool. It might be a situation where I'd like to get down to their office maybe and have a conversation with them, but they're no dummies, man, and they realize that the used car market is blown up like crazy again. It's back up to levels, and EVs are obviously a big part of the used car market these days. So, again, it's battery life for EVs. Obviously, is the biggest. 2 questions people ask: how much does it cost to replace the battery, and what kind of range? That's the 2 main things that people ask about an EV. How much does it cost to replace the battery, and what is the range? And so we're talking about the range today, which is the reality of it is that you're talking a good, 30% potentially off the mark from what the EPA listed as the battery range. So a 312-mile range is actually really only around 270, 272 is what you get. But they're saying that this is even a 0-mile car that didn't have any miles on it, still not hitting what the range is.
Which is exactly why I asked, hey, looking at a brand new window sticker, do you believe that, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to take that stuff with a grain of salt. It's, I would suggest to anyone out there, if the sticker says, I would say subtract anywhere between 20 and 30% off of that.
Yeah.
That's a more realistic range number for you guys. So just keep that in mind. But the other factor is just understanding, and Keith, you're far more knowledgeable in this area than I am, but batteries degrade over cycles.
Yeah.
So, these are rechargeable batteries, and they all have a life, and it's all about the cycles, the number of cycles that are built into it. And over time, it degrades.
Yeah, and there's things you can do. This is kind of like I have a one wheel. You have and I don't. You'll know this. I don't remember if yours has this or not, but a lot of the e-bikes now. And I have it on my phone. I have a Samsung Flip Fold phone, and you can go into the settings and limit your charging to like 80% or 90%.
Yeah.
And it basically keeps, if you're going to have that thing for a longer period of time, meaning like you don't get a new phone every year, or like on my one wheel, if I'm going to put like thousands of miles on it, you'll get more recharge cycles out of the battery if you don't charge it up to 100% every time. Now, on an e-bike, they're expensive, but they are usually drop-in replacements. You just order a new battery. Do you know if your bike has a battery limiter where you can... I know it'll tell you if you pull up in the app what the current charge rate... Like, you can sit there and watch it on your phone.
You could, yeah. But, no, I don't... I'd have to look and see if that information is available to me.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I haven't gotten down in the weeds.
There's some preventative stuff that you can do to help get more life out of your battery.
Well, like you were saying, like Apple has built in, I think most smartphone companies now build in to where they kind of throttle the amount of charge going into it. It's more of an optimized type. It's more of a trickle charge rather than just a blast. And the other thing too is like letting them get down low is not a bad thing. It's kind of healthy for
every now and then. It is good. Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. But again, all you guys out there, the EVs are no different than any other device that has a lithium type battery in it. You notice it if you've got a phone that's like 2-3 years old. You start losing battery life. You'll see a significant reduction in battery life. It happens.
You got to charge it more frequently. Is ultimately.
Yep. And the more you charge it, the more cycles of charging happen, and it continues to degrade over time until finally you got to replace a battery. So, there you have it. That's EPA is not giving you guys the real deal, as they never have been when it comes to fuel economy or range on estimated miles per gallon. Can save you $1,000. It's so funny, man. They put all that stuff on the sticker that says your average cost to operate this vehicle over a year is going to be this. I mean, okay. So the gas prices just went up $2 a gallon. Did you factor that in? No.
No, it's all like you said. It's all a mathematical. You're never going to get the.
It's an equation.
You're never going to get the sticker range out of that Cybertruck, even if you drive it empty with, no. Yeah, it's
right.
So seeing some Cybertrucks around now, right? You've seen them. I know you sent me pictures. We've got them driving around here.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
It's I will give them this. It does have the sort of iconic stature that is very, very common with like DeLorean owners. Like you see one, you're like, ooh. So, now I don't know if that'll go on, like if that'll continue for more than 6 months, but yeah, for now it's like, ooh, Cybertruck, and everybody's taking pictures, right?
Yeah. Well, I think too that there comes a, and I know we're going with this. There's a Cybertruck owner that's getting constant attention. He's not only getting people taking pictures of him, but they're giving him the old one finger salute too. And I get it, and I understand why.
I want to know why. Why?
Okay, so I think it's that whole perception Remember, it's like I think people just assume that it's an excess, right? Like the Hummer. When it first came to market, people were buying the Hummers, and it was this whole Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, but if you see a Ferrari,
bad guy thing, and
are you going to fly that guy the bird because he's pulled up next to you in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari?
No, but this thing, dude. No, I think that size has a lot to do with it too. I just think that people look at it like it's excess, man. It's like, screw you. We got people starving on the street and you're buying that thing. That's the whole attitude that people have towards these guys. I guarantee you that's the whole attitude. It's a tree hugger mentality, man. That's what it is. Can I say that?
Sure, man. The amount of energy and effort that it takes to engage with somebody over that, I just don't. I would rather spend that energy on something that will deliver me a little bit more of a positive outcome.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me that this is happening to him, but he didn't ask for it. He just bought the thing, man. So
this guy's in Maine,
the guy
right?
He's in Maine. He's a weed dispensary owner, man. He owns a marijuana dispensary company.
Do you think that has anything to do with it? Maybe they know, because it's a smaller community, they know who owns it and they hate his business?
Maybe. Not necessarily, though.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't realize how much attention he was going to be getting when he when he bought this thing. But to err on his side, I'm in awe when I look at this thing. It's like I'm surprised.
Very
that
unusual.
even made it to production because of how impractical and just absolutely. I mean, it's just the craziest looking piece of machinery out there on the highway. I mean, it's a space age looking vehicle. But anyway, so the guy's trying. He was trying to advertise, and with it, he said he paid over $100,000 for the truck. 4 months later, still one of only 2 Cybertrucks that are registered in all of Maine.
Well, bro, you're in Maine. I mean,
right. So he started. Here's the thing. He started noticing people staring at him and just doing all kinds of different stuff. He decided to kind of leverage a little bit of publicity and for his business, and he stuck a QR code with links to his business, which, by the way, is Vice Cannabis. If you're up in that area, where's that? Is it Portland, Maine?
I think so. I think that's...
Yeah, it's Portland, Maine. So there you go, guys. Go see this guy go see Travis Carter at Vice Cannabis in Portland, Maine. He's the guy with the Cybertruck parked out front. You shouldn't have any problem finding him. But anyway, honestly, man, I look at this thing in awe because of how huge it is. It's just, and you really don't realize how big a Cybertruck is until you're standing right next to it. It's a monster. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's going to get, you kind of wonder too, man, how many people are fed up with Elon and his shenanigans, and how much of that is people just against Tesla because of who he is. I don't know, maybe. But the poor guy has just been kind of having to ride around and take the old one-finger salute, and not only get yelled at and, people cursing at him and taking pictures, no privacy. So, I don't know, man. I don't get it either, but don't expect to not be Googled at.
I mean, isn't that sort of the point of owning a Cybertruck, right?
I think so. Yes, I think so. Absolutely, man. So, anything else you want to add to that little tidbit of information? Is there do you have a saying that you want to, get out there to our listeners about if you buy a Cybertruck, you might beware?
I think it's something along the lines of, don't sell weed from a Cybertruck and not expect to turn heads. I don't know. That's
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. I like that one. Yeah, we're not just selling weed over here. Yeah. So what's next? What do we got? What else are we talking about, Keith?
You know, it's interesting. I just had a conversation earlier today on Spotify, and we are getting into this we're in a time when companies that have been around for a while are having to go back and take a hard look at who they are and who they want to be when they grow up.
Right.
And I think that's happening to Tesla. I think that's happening to, weirdly, Amazon right now. They're in like round 3 of that conversation, and Spotify, right? And so, you know, when Spotify got into the game, they were kind of a podcast streaming service.
Right.
And did you know you could do audiobooks now on Spotify?
Yeah. It's awesome.
And when Amazon got into whatever it is, when the Amazon became a thing, they were a book company.
Right.
And then they got in. Now you can listen to us. You can listen to this podcast on Amazon. You can listen to this podcast on Spotify. You can listen to this podcast on any of them. Just go to partscounterguru.com, click on the podcast tab, and they're all there. Anyway, I digress.
Right.
So, Jay, first of all, the reason that you and I do this is because I don't think I could last in a corporation as an executive more than a couple weeks. Because I can go on this podcast and say that's a horrible idea, but I think you have to be a little bit more tactful. And apparently in a Spotify boardroom, you have to be a lot more tolerant of horrible ideas.
Apparently so. I have to be honest with you. I did not even know that this was even a thing. And when I was, to my surprise, when it actually hit the market, was in 2022.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, who in the hell allowed this person to give a presentation in that boardroom and say, this is what we need to do?
Yeah.
Did they just all kind of forget that smartphones were not in existence?
Man, I don't know. So we're talking about it's an in-car music device built by Spotify. And here's the best explanation that I can give you guys that aren't looking at the picture that I'm about to share here. If you remember the first generation and at the time it was XM radio, it wasn't Sirius XM. You remember, Jay, you could go into like a Target store and get like a standalone XM radio device, and then you could put an adapter into your car radio, and it would give an older car that wasn't built with XM radio, right?
Right.
And it was kind of like a little 6-inch screen, and you'd have to figure out a place to shove that thing. And anyway,
I own one.
Yeah.
I own
okay.
One.
So Spotify did that like 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, because apparently they all live in Maine. And they are big customers of that Cybertruck owner, and they're just like spending way too much time stoned to like, I don't know. Anyway,
that's so funny, man.
I don't know, like you said, why anybody thought this was a good idea, but Spotify made a standalone device for older vehicles.
So share those.
Yep. And yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it. The first thing that hit my brain was, okay, didn't Sirius XM do this like 10 years ago? And then now you don't even have to have that, because if you have the Sirius XM streaming app, you just simply link it to your car's phones. The phone setup, and you could stream anything you want.
Right.
What was Spotify thinking here, man? I mean, we're 2 years into this in 2024, and they're going to support this sort of device.
Not anymore. It's about to be killed off. But this is a great example of, and you've heard me complain about this with Apple lately. Now, Apple hasn't done anything quite this bad, but it's we got to come up with something new for the shareholders.
Right.
Okay. Or you could just keep doing what you do really well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's not enough. We got to grow the shareholder price. We got to have interest. We got to have a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we can't just be good at what we became known for, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I know. It's so interesting to me, man. So anyway, they're going to brick this thing. And if you go to their website, it's called Car Thing. Spotify Car Thing.
Which,
is what it is.
I mean, again, like,
that's original.
what are we going to call
name,
this
right?
thing? I don't know.
Let's just call it Car Thing. It's a car thing. Okay, that's what we're going to name it. All right.
I mean, is there
is there anybody in marketing over there? Hello?
Yeah, has there ever been a better example of just phoning it in?
That absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Which ironically,
Or
it does
they
integrate with your smartphone, so you can take calls on it. Wait a second, think that one through for a minute.
Yeah, right, man. It's just like, okay, what is going on here, man? Anyway, God bless them. They tried. But they're going to go, was it December the 9th, I think is the date that they picked to support
you
this
guys
thing.
better run right out and buy one now.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's stupid. I mean, it is absolutely stupid. I scratched my head when I saw this, and I'm like, did that even exist? And apparently it does.
Yeah, we're past April Fools. It's
a real thing, man, and it's a real it's a real dead product, man. Apparently,
and just to put a bow on this, and we mentioned this, but I want to be very clear: they're gonna brick this. Like, it's just not gonna work anymore.
Right. There's no use for it.
Not they're going to stop selling them, but they'll continue to work for a couple more. No, it's going to just stop working.
Stop working. Yep.
Okay.
I wonder how much this thing retailed for it initially.
Let me see if I can buy one. Can I buy one?
I don't think you can, man. I want to see how much this car thing costs. We're gonna. This is real live stuff going on here, guys. How does car thing? Holy cow. So $89.99 with free standard shipping. That's a one-time cost, and that's on top of your monthly Spotify premium subscription, which starts at $10, goes up to $16. Of course, unless you're a student, you get a $4.99 plan.
Which this would pair well with your 1988 Mercedes SL, student daily driver. I don't know. Your 92 Ford Contour.
Yeah, man. I get it. I get it. If it had a very, very small window to be beneficial to anybody, because at the rate of how these smartphones are coming into play in every vehicle now, how they are pairing and how they are giving the owner the user experience to utilize their smart devices in their vehicles. Just flat outright took over the whole experience inside a car. I mean, you could literally you don't even have to own the vehicle to be able to use these services, man. If you have a smartphone and you rent a car, which is what cracks me up, you can rent GPS devices through the car rental agency, man. But you got a phone, which is like a really good GPS device. So how they're still, that's like do you want to pay for the gas before you bring it back? You really need to do your homework, man. I mean, if you are renting the vehicle in Washington State and you prepay gas before you drive to Florida to drop it off, you're out of your mind, because the gas cost here is like,
well, and you got to also
almost
think
double
about
what
that
it
they're
is
going to
down
charge you for a full tank even if you bring it back with half a tank.
That's right.
So
I always pay for my own gas, and I burn that gas down to the bottom and then fill her back up like right before I get there. So there you go. Anyway, so if you have a car thing, guys, you heard it here first. You guys are going to be getting bricked. No worky for you no more.
So, Jay, I did not forget about the Elon Musk story. We'll get to that coming up here. Okay. All right.
I figured there was a motive behind your plan of attack here, which is quite all right. This is we're very fluid, man.
We're gonna bring it all home in two areas of focus. EVs. That's the electric EV. I don't know. And overlanding content. Do you remember seeing the monster overland truck at SEMA a few years back that I think it was outside, and it was called an Earth Roamer?
Yeah, wasn't it Arctic Trucks or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, so they're involved in this, but yeah, man. I just remember looking at it and going, dude, this is like the ultimate.
Yeah, so you're gonna, put your bikes on the back of this thing and take it up to the KOA and use it as a base camp, and
oh, holy cow, dude! I mean, you could literally, you could spend a lifetime inside this thing. It's huge.
But for the low price of
$690,000, is that what it is?
Yeah, just under, almost $750,000 of $1 million.
Right. So what we're talking about is a company called Krug Expedition. They have put together, along with Arctic Trucks, they're part of this, and it's called the Bedrock XT2. It is a Ford F550. And it's considered a 6x4, if you will, because it's 4-wheel drive. So you don't have, it's not 6-wheel drive, but it's 6 wheels with 4 of them being all-wheel drive, and which makes sense because it has the support of the other axle. It gives the support that it needs to carry such a heavy load around on. Anyway, but this thing is a monster, dude, and I like it. If I had, I'm not sure I would spend $690,000 on it. I'm gonna let someone buy this, let it depreciate, and then I'm gonna come in at around $200,000 and make them an offer.
Yeah, so. It's nice. Like, you look at the inside here, and it's how many of these do they need to sell to?
Oh my God, man, I can't imagine. But not only that, who's buying these things?
Right. Yeah.
Who is buying them? I guess the same guy that's or gal that's buying the big huge mega yachts.
Well, now this is purpose built. Like, you gotta go way off grid, right? This is like Rothmeier starts his own beverage distribution company, right?
Right.
And it's called like Flaming Shots or something, like, which I'm sure he despises, but
Yeah.
And then he takes his friends out, and we go way off grid in something like this, because if you're here, like, just for fun, Jay, just for fun, like, what will $690,000 get you if you wanted to go? And I chose Newmar because I'm Tiffin got purchased by Thor Motor Coach. Integra got purchased by Thor Motor Coach. These are luxury Class A motorhome. And Newmar got purchased by Winnebago. I'm more familiar with the quality on the other two that I mentioned first. I feel like has declined a little bit. So how much Class A 40 feet or 41, I think they go up to 42 feet now, can you get for $690,000? So the King Air is their top of the line. And those are going to be close to $1 million, I think. Let's see.
If you look, though, the Superstar and the Supreme Air is more in line with as far as what it is, right?
Oh, that's a Super C. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, for the money, house on wheels, how luxurious can you get in an RV for $90,000?
All right,
I don't know if they're gonna. Why will this thing not? Oh, because I've got this compare. Okay, so let's look at the SX. Well, let me do 3 nodal and let me do 2.
That's okay.
Is it gonna load?
You're buying 2 anyway.
Yeah, right. 1 for me, and I own Flaming Shots, so
right.
You know, they don't have MSRP. So here, let's do this. 2024 new Mar King Air MSRP. That's $1.5 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah, looks like. So if we go back to, what do we got to do? We got to do a Mountain Air. Let's go Mountain Air.
Okay. Are you getting shocked with the prices of these things?
I know they've gone up quite a bit.
Well,
yeah, okay. So you're somewhere between a New Air, and the Air is AIRE, the bottom one there. That's their luxury line, and a Mountain Air. A New Air is going to be $600K, $500 to $600K, and a Mountain Air is going to be like $750 to $850.
Right. Is it me though, or did the prices on RVs almost double since COVID?
Skyrocketed. Yep.
Since COVID, right? And why is that, you think?
Well, the manufacturing pricing did go up, but people went crazy for buying them, and it was a seller's market for sure. So
it's becoming more and more common that people are living on the road because you can work from home, and so you can. Your home is wherever you put the.
Yeah.
You park the thing.
And so they're starting to build like streaming workstations in them, and you know, all of that.
Yeah. I mean, so.
But look at this, dude. So for arguably less money than the Krug Expedition, right? You're getting a full kitchen. You're getting a pretty decent sized bathroom, washer and dryer. You've got theater chairs, fireplace, little dining table. The slide outs, not to mention, right? You can stand up in this thing.
I mean, it probably sleeps 6 comfortably.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say.
And you can go buy an F-250 and throw all your tent gear in the back and still probably be less than $650K for,
Right.
I'm just saying.
So obviously, and this is the big thing that we're the point we're getting across. Obviously, you can't go off roading in this what we're looking at right now.
That's right.
But with the Krug vehicle, it's a very extreme off-roading overlanding vehicle. It is. I mean, hell, the tires on this thing are I think measure up to around 44 inches, man.
Yeah, and if that's your thing and you're in that less than 1%. But that's back to my question of how many of these do they need to sell?
Right. I like how they...
I mean, there's only so many beverage distribution owners in the world, Jay.
Right, man. Oh, man. Wow. It has a total vehicle length of 263 inches. Not much on the... It is a... The camper actually attaches directly to the frame on this thing.
Yeah, and that's another point. A lot of those pickup bed campers, you can unhook, so to speak, from them and leave it at camp.
And drive out, But
nope.
not this. This is attached. It's got limited slip differentials, automatic tire inflation systems on it. It's got a Truma Combi diesel heating system on it, 1,450 watt solar array. There's 118 gallons of fresh water capacity. It's got, some optional off-road features and stuff.
It's legit.
Again,
it is a legit off-road, off-the-grid vehicle. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's nice. I'm just saying, like, who would buy? How many? Because these guys that are going out to Moab, that's a week long. They're not doing that more than once or twice a year. Like that's
right.
That's over $500,000. How many times are you going to use it a year?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a practical purchase for the average.
Unless
person.
you go to the Overland Expo with it and you put your beverage distribution banners on the side and make it a company truck, right? You give out free shots.
A rolling beverage distribution company.
Free flaming shots for everybody at the show. I don't know. I'm working out a business plan here.
It's big enough to where you could actually put some tap handles on the side of this thing, man. And then you could. There are actually rolling tap houses.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have them.
They
have them here too.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So there you go, guys. If you got $690,000 to blow on a gift for me, guys, if you want to buy one from me, please feel free. Send the money right here, and I'll go buy one and I'll drive it around for a year, and then I'll sell it for an extremely low cost of around $300,000. But anyway, there you go. Overlanding, extreme camping. There you go. Go get you one.
Yeah, I mean, you got that's into corporate executive territory. Like private. Got your own private jet. You got one of these, right? Speaking of guys that have their own private jet, and have their hands in AI and all kinds of other stuff, Elon Musk. You've been taking crazy pills again, or what's going on, man?
Absolutely, 100%. He's taking crazy pills again. It's super bizarre, man, that he would do this.
So he's making. Do we call him threats? He wants control of Tesla, and he's either going to
ultimatums,
take his toys and go home, kind of thing. Like, you're not getting my AI technology if you don't give me 25% ownership in Tesla.
Right. 25% control over the company, which he doesn't have right now because he had to sell shares to buy Twitter.
Right.
And I think that there was a compensation package that they had offered him that would have gotten him to 25%, but because he had to sell those shares, that's why he's in the predicament he's in. So he's basically telling his shareholders, I want 25% control over the company, or you ain't getting AI and robotics, because basically Tesla is an AI and robotic company, he claims. First, and he says without AI, Tesla would not exist, basically.
How's Twitter doing?
I don't know, man. I haven't been on it in ages.
Okay.
I know you're, yeah, right? X. Twitter's not even around anymore.
How's X doing?
X. Yeah, it's not doing great, man. But Elon supports this, though. There was a post on his platform by Tesla Economics. If Elon gets 25% voting power, Tesla is reincorporated in Texas, and compensation package is approved. Then AI and robotics stays within the Tesla company, and the company can move forward to become the largest company in the world. And Elon says, yes.
So we've got a guy that's willing to withhold what potentially are good things from his team, his company, and the public, the consumers, where the demand is for them. And more importantly, remember how I brought up shareholders with Spotify?
Yeah.
Withholding value from the people that own the company today, aka shareholders, if he doesn't get what he wants.
Right.
Damn, this guy's a Bond villain. He is straight up.
He is. And do you not smell more lawsuits, though? I mean, shareholders, man. I swear.
If I had any shares of Tesla, I would be pissed beyond belief that somebody is willing to sabotage over not getting their way. What a freaking child. Like, well, and also this is a very much a third grade, we told you not to do it. Mom and dad said it was a bad idea. You said you were going to do it anyway, and now you want to go back and have the thing that you decided you didn't want, right? Like, people told him not to go after Twitter. He made it personal. He went and sold everything to get Twitter, and now he wants to have his cake and eat it too, right? Like, he wants Tesla back. Yeah, that's not how the world works, man. Like,
no.
This is the side of him that people often point to where he's been handed everything his whole life. And he just expects that entitlement. I'm not saying he's not brilliant, but this is a little emotionally immature.
Absolutely it is. And people took to this and started commenting. I'll read you some of the comments. One guy says, this should be immediate grounds for termination. And I don't know, given the captive BOD, it won't happen, but JFC already, whatever that is. I see. Oh, I'm not saying that one out loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, acronym boy. And then the response to that was, well, it's definitely grounds for another shareholder lawsuit. This one where he's making a direct threat against the company for personal gain is probably much clearer case than the other one that already went against him, he says. And another person says this is grounds for him to be sanctioned by the SEC. And I don't disagree with that. The feds are getting involved with this.
Is there any company other than this in the world where you today could think of an executive in the company saying, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to fill in the blank with some like undesirable negative outcome for the company?
Yeah. I mean,
and they wouldn't be just gone tomorrow.
Right. This is an interesting twist in the plot.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I started to say plot, didn't I? I started to go there, didn't I? So, but the thing is, it's very interesting why he would feel the need to go there with this. I mean, he absolutely must be a little bit just crazy in the head, man. I mean, we all knew he was kind of, quirky to some degree.
Don't you think a little bit is, I just want to see what I can get away with?
Of course.
And you can get away with it until you can't get away with it, right?
Right. I mean, the guy literally has enough money to throw himself around like that. And I mean, that's the case here. I mean, you and I, if that were us, are you kidding me? Bags packed, you're out. See ya. Shareholder meeting, you're done. We're getting rid of him. He's off. He's out.
Yeah.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I mean, is he trying to run the company into the ground?
I don't think he cares. I don't. That's the thing, and that's the big point here. There's no real consequence to him. He's not attached to the outcome. Steve Jobs cared about Apple. He created he and Wozniak founded Apple.
Yeah.
Elon Musk didn't start Tesla.
No.
He doesn't really. I don't see the personal investment in its success that, Bill Gates had in Microsoft, or Henry Ford had in Ford, or the government had in General Motors. No, sorry, bad example. Bad example.
Government Motors.
Yeah, but you get my point there, right? I mean,
I do.
Or Richard Dyson
man.
with that sucking company. I don't.
Right. Yeah, they really do suck. I hate, by the way, I hate those damn hand dryers where you have to stick your hand through the damn thing. That's just, please,
Keep waiting
man.
for it to slice your hand off.
Well, no, that they're most of the ones that I've seen and I've had to use because there's no other option.
Yeah.
Which by the way, people in public restrooms go. I have a problem with that. Put paper towels in there, please. Or the other hand dryer that blows straight down. Because that Dyson hand dryer, man, have you seen them where they just get absolutely filthy nasty?
Yeah, at the bottom.
And nobody's cleaning them, you know?
Well,
It's
that's
like,
but there is a trade to be made, Jay, of not being able to not being able to draw the picture of the guy's butt on the button that you have to push on the straight down ones that you referenced.
Yes.
You know, step one, push butt. I was talking to my wife about that, and I'm like, do people do this in the women? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it must be a men's restroom thing only. Of course it is, right? They don't do it in the women's restroom. For those of you not men, not using the men's restroom, every hand dryer that has the old traditional blow down, every single one, it has not been installed, and within 5 minutes, somebody hasn't carved a picture of a butt on the button. And the bacon thing, you know, where the hot air sign, and they're like, get bacon.
Right. Yeah, that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
I've seen that. So, it's just, I don't know. I don't really have much to say on this any more than I've already said. I'm just absolutely blown away that he's trying to pull this thing.
Well,
man.
I'm going to take this the other way. Let me ask a hypothetical question here. If you remove, is there a Tesla without Elon Musk? At this point.
That's a good question. That's a really good. I think so. I think there can be a Tesla without Elon Musk. I really do think so, because they have refined their processes so well, and they have a really, really good history of quality built vehicles.
Yeah.
If they just do what they do well, they'll continue to stay healthy, I think.
Yeah.
Without him. I don't think that it needs the AI and the robotics, because there's other AI and robotic companies out there that they could partner with.
So if I'm a board member of Tesla, I should probably be. I'm asking that question right now. I hope they are, and they're having those conversations, right? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I mean, he still gets to keep his 13% or whatever, but he essentially can be removed as the executive in charge.
And I think they should consider.
And he can go work on his AI and robotics, and then we can talk about him over on our other podcast, which focuses on AI, which you can also find on our website, partscounterguru.com. It's called the AI Chronicles, and we just brought it back for season 2, everybody.
Good fun.
And that was one of the reasons that I wanted to put this this story in here, other than the sheer entertainment value of the utter show, the shit show that's going on. But
right.
Yeah, so go check out our other podcast. You can find that right on our website, partscounterguru.com, and we'll see how this unfolds.
Yeah. We'll probably carry it on a lot further and just stay on top of this on that particular show. So yeah, if you want to keep following this story and see where it goes, definitely make sure you reach out to us over there. That's a good one too.
In the meantime, it is a good time, and let's end on some positive news here.
Yes, I thought this was great, and I got a personal experience.
All right, let's hear it.
To share.
Let's go. Oh wait, sorry.
Bring us in.
So, for those of you that have been waiting to buy a new car because of the supply and demand issue and the fact that you're being overcharged and gouged and all that, got good news for you. Looks like things have swung back around to be a buyer's market now. So we've caught up with the supply chain. We have an ample supply of cars on dealer lots. There's plenty there for you to go purchase. If you've been holding off, it looks like the automotive lending companies, like Ford Motor Credit and GMAC and all those guys are offering some sweet low interest incentives, if not zero interest, to buy a new vehicle. So we're talking new vehicle. Used too. Used car prices have dropped a little bit. Now's the time.
Yep.
Back to the buyer's
Right now,
market. How do you personally, are you shopping for a new car?
Yeah. Have been for a while. I've just been kind of waiting for the right time. And yesterday we were on
wait
a
a second.
lot.
Do we have time to put a poll out to our audience to ask what Jay's next car? What's your time frame, Jay? How long do I have to get a poll out?
I'm still in the looking mode, so you got a lot of time.
So
get a poll out
all
there.
right,
Yeah.
let's make this clear. If you're seeing this video, I'm going to link a poll somewhere. We need to hear from you guys. What kind of a car should Jay? Sky's the limit here. I mean, are there ground rules? Will you consider anything? Will you consider a Rivian?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you'll consider like a Hyundai Santa Cruz?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
If they're buying it for me, why
Well,
not?
wouldn't you at least want to see what interest is? And I think let's just see
would.
what the poll. Okay.
Let's you guys give us. Yeah, we're going to take a poll on what you think the best vehicle would be for me to purchase.
All right.
There you go. And we'll do it that
So
way.
you were on a lot yesterday, you said?
Yesterday we were on a lot, and something that you don't see very often is physical yet like sale tags hanging on the mirrors of brand new vehicles on a new car lot. I mean, typically, you'd see that for a used vehicle, where they put the asking price, because there's typically never any stickers on those. But we noticed driving through there were several vehicles, brand new vehicles that had the yellow tags with the marked down price on it. And the guy came out and talked to us, man. Some of these were marked down as much as $6,000 off. And I think the APR was anywhere between 0% and 2.9% interest rates that they were offering through them. And so, yes, that is a very, very robust incentive package to save $6,000 and be able to qualify if you qualify for those super low interest rates. Right now is the time to go buy a vehicle, man. No doubt about it. The other pro tip that I would have for anybody out there, pay attention to whatever manufacturer that you're interested in, whether it be Hyundai, Toyota. Just realize that they are in the process. Most of these companies are actually refacing to the next generation of these vehicles. Like Toyota just came out with the new Tacoma. Toyota just came out with the new 4Runner that they revealed. So guess what they're doing? And same way with Hyundai and their Santa Fe. The Santa Fe got refaced. It's a whole new platform. You can buy last year's model, the 2023 or 2024, because the 2025s are coming in, at a fire sale price because they want them off the lot, because to make room for the new generation. So if you're okay with the most current generation and not necessarily interested in the new generation, and you want a really good vehicle, pay attention to those things, because you can walk away with a really, really good deal. So, and I'm learning more and more, Keith, and I'm sure you've observed the same thing, that more and more dealerships are kind of adopting the Tesla way, which is there's no haggle. This is the price. This is what it costs. We're not, that sort of stuff is happening a lot more. Not a lot of haggling going on.
Yeah. Anything to some extent is negotiable until it's not.
Right.
And I'm not suggesting that you just some people just get addicted to the haggling and it's like they live for that. But, it depends, right? If it's a buyer's market, typically you have more leverage, especially on things like automobiles where there's so many different factors in how they make profit. It's not just on the sale price of the vehicle. Like they're getting, they're getting commissions on the financing and the extended warranty stuff and, the true coat, right? And
True code, right?
and all that stuff, right? So there's a, especially on the new vehicles, but I always go back to whenever I see haggle-free pricing, you're paying more than you should. That's just my personal belief.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with it, but it's gotten to that point to where there is not much haggle.
People just don't want to,
Haggle room.
it's,
Yeah.
we've lost our interpersonal skills. We all hide behind Facebook posts and whatever, social
Right.
media.
Right.
Nobody can see another human being driving down the road, Jay, without feeling the need to fly them the bird in a Cybertruck.
Right.
It's either
Exactly, man.
all 100% rage or it's 100% like calm
Yeah.
and behind my keyboard. We can't sort of live in
Absolutely.
the natural interaction of human, the sales process.
Absolutely, man. I used to love haggling, man. But you don't give up on that. It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Jay,
So yes.
I just came up with another movie script.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So, not too far into the future, okay? But all the salesmen have been replaced by AI. All right, hold on a
Okay.
second. Okay. So,
All right.
all the salespeople have been replaced by robots and AI, okay?
Okay.
And there is a need for like the world's last sales guy to go in and sell. Like they're bringing this guy out of cold storage, right?
Yeah.
And he's got a
Last man standing.
yeah. It's kind of like
right?
in the Top Gun, the Top Gun sequel where they were like
Twat Gun? Yeah.
right? Where you joked about this on the AI podcast, but Joe, like pilots are being replaced, right? Mm-hmm. And Maverick said, maybe, but not today, right? So it's kind of that thing for the sales guy. He's like, well, maybe all the salespeople have been replaced, but not today, right?
Not today.
And
right.
so there's a big sale. I don't know if I need to give the full plot away at this point or not, but you gotta,
I think I get
Okay,
I get where
all
you're
right.
going with it. I think it's
the last salesman standing or something clever like that, right?
right. Right.
Or maybe we go with fire sale or something, but just not, And if he doesn't, I'll sweeten the pot in a true 80s, Stallone or Schwarzenegger style. If he doesn't make this say like the future of the world depends on it.
Okay. I love it. I think that's great. Here's what I want you to do.
All
though.
right.
Create an animated. Use Alan
Yeah.
to create an animated trailer for that.
Okay.
But here's the deal, though, guys. If you want to see that, you have to come over and listen to the AI Chronicles podcast, which is our other podcast. So you go to partscounterguru.com. You'll find it there. It's also on this YouTube channel as well. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the movie trailer. Do we have a title for the movie?
I'm torn. I don't know. Fire sale, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Because you
there
got
go,
the
man.
you got the disaster thing in fire, in the word fire, right? Like,
I think it ought to be called "What's it going to take for me to get you in a car today?" Man, talking about a dang old
this
man
is
gonna
not.
do it, right?
This is not. Like, this is not. You got to bring your A game. This is like
right.
like the sheriff in Stranger Things. It's kind of turned into a washed up drunk, and now he's got to bring his A game back to save the future of humanity. Right? This is
Right.
This is not used car level. Like you got to bring your A game. Right?
This is hilarious, man. I'm looking forward to watching said movie. So, I think that Boomhauer ought to be the sales guy, though.
I mean, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Man, what's it going to take for me to get you in a car today? Hey, you better. if you don't see my star on your car, you better give old DW a call.
This is about saving the future of humanity.
All right. So to bring this whole thing to a close, if you are so two things. Number one, don't forget about the survey. Make sure you follow the link wherever you see this. Let's help Jay pick a new car. Number two, if you've been holding off on looking for a new car, now would be a good time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Number three, Jay's going to tell you about how to support the show.
Yeah, you can do that by going to PartsCounterGuru.com. Go to our show specials. You can purchase through us. We've got some great brand partners out there that help support the show. And something even which is completely free to you that helps us, guys, is by you subscribing to our channels and our podcasts and listening, liking, commenting. All of those things help support this channel. And we absolutely 100% appreciate it, and we are growing like crazy. This year's been so good to us so far. So,
did you see the numbers I sent you yesterday?
Did
you poop your pants?
Nice.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. I mean, we're up like almost 50%.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. I'm impressed. Yeah. We're doing well because of you guys. Thank you so much, everybody. I can't thank you guys enough. We really appreciate that. It's a fun ride. It is an absolute fun ride. And stay tuned for more good fun stuff. We're going on the road. We're taking it to the house this year. So be ready.
And if we make mistakes, we'll get them on film, right?
Absolutely.
Got to have the good outtakes.
I've got some of that stuff.
So
I actually was filming, by the way, whenever I hit the trail and started to ride through that.
I got it. Yeah, is it in the? Yeah, okay.
It.
Yeah.
I've got to download it from my GoPro and I'll put it on your file.
Okay.
So I'll get it out there for you. You can have the footage. You can use it for whatever you want, man. It's the whole point. So
I've had an extra day this weekend because of the long weekend, and I don't know why. I was just thinking a lot about, and I know this, and I've preached this on this podcast many times, and nothing new here under the sun. You've heard this before, and I don't know why I just lost sight of this fact, but there's some content that like I've been involved with lately, and I just have felt like it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to from a quality perspective, or I don't know, the finished product just I wasn't happy with it, and kind of hung over me, kind of followed me around, kind of soured the whole, like, just made me kind of feel for a minute bad about the work I've done. Not in its entirety, but just, lately. And then I snapped out of it and remembered, and this is the big key here, right? And there is a saying that's like, every yes that you've ever gotten required the courage to face it, to no, or to ask the question and have the possibility of a no. And I don't know who said this, but failure is a necessary consequence of doing something new. And I had this realization that, it's usually that. It's usually when we try things that we haven't done before on this show, on our YouTube channel, on some other platform like Twitter, or we go to something, and we've got some new things coming up. We've been talking about doing some Overland shows, some different kinds of shows. And usually when I get hung up on things not kind of working out the way I thought they would, it's the result of us or me trying something new that I haven't done before. But carrying that same expectation that I have in the work that we've been doing for 5 or 6 years now, and expecting the new thing to be just like that. And that's not realistic, right? No. So kind of lesson to myself that I then went, oh yeah, I should probably eat my own dog food and mention that to everyone else. But failure is a necessary component of doing something new, right? Consequence or component, however you want to look at that. And that's true. So remember that, you guys, and it's better to go out there and fail and learn from it than not try at all. Because the alternative, if you don't ever try and learn new things, is you just flip off guys in a Cybertruck and, you never have real world conversations with said people.
Right.
And who knows, if you become friends with a guy, you might get free pot for life. You just wouldn't have flipped him off and, I don't know. Anyway.
I love it. I love it, man.
I think I'll stop now.
Okay.
So thank you
right.
guys for making us a part of your lives. For my pal Jay over there. Wow, I got it right this time. It only took 5.5 years. Oh, look. I'm Keith. We'll see you on the next one.
Later, guys.